Hi, my name is Jake. Now let's talk music. Alright, so it's December 18th, and we've done it. I mean, it, it was a lot of work, but this is the last one until he drops the fall off. But yeah, I'll talk more about like J. Cole as a whole at the end of this video, but for right now, let's talk about the project at hand. Might delete later. It's the seventh studio album by J. Cole, and I, I, I just even after listening to it multiple times today, I still don't know how I truly feel about this because I can't lie. There's some amazing performances on here, like something like Crocodile Tears, Sticks and Stones, Pie, 3001, Trade the Truth in Ibiza. It's just like it, it it's still inside my head, like the reason why this truly dropped. I mean, it it was a surprise album that came out April 5th of this year, and it was a response to uh, like that by Future Metro Boomin featuring Kendrick Lamar, and it was a response to Kendrick Lamar saying, "F the big three, is just big me," and it's like when I think of this album, all I can think about is how ironic the name is. I mean, with everything that happened, uh, you know, Kendrick dissed uh, J. Cole and Drake. Uh, J. Cole was the first person to answer with this album and with 7 Minute Drill, but 7 Minute Drill wasn't anything special. Honestly, it was kind of disappointing as a diss song. Like, some of the things he said just didn't make sense. And then, literally, like, during his Dreamville Fest, which he said this album was supposed to be like something that he put out before the Dreamville Fest to help celebrate that. But truly, the whole reason this came out was the diss track at the very end. I mean, maybe he made the other music, yeah, as something for uh, the um, Dreamville Fest. But truly, like the biggest highlight of this album was 7 Minute Drill, but it wasn't even that good of a song. I mean, I even went onto YouTube to re-listen to it, and it's just like it wasn't very impressive, and I don't know. It's just it felt so ironic that the name of the album is Might Delete Later, and he literally like less than 2 weeks after putting this out deleted the like biggest song off of this because he said that it was the softest thing he's ever done, and went on stage and apologized to Kendrick Lamar, which a lot of people, they're mad at him. A lot of people are like, that was a smart thing to do. A lot of people are like, man, that takes a lot of character to do that. But I mean, to me, it's like you put that out. You are pretty much saying, like, you know what? I want to respond. And then after the reception it got, and also the fact that you knew Kendrick Lamar, after seeing that, would absolutely destroy you. I mean, let's be honest. Like, nobody's messing with Kendrick Lamar in the rap game right now. Nobody. And it's like, he was like, alright, I gotta fix this. So then he apologizes and deletes the song off of the album. Which I don't want to, like, I don't want to fully, like, make this album about that. But at the same time, when I hear someone mention this album, that's all I can truly think about is the fact that he literally deleted a song off of his album called Might Delete Later. So it that really just it cemented itself with the name of this album. But other than that, like it's a really solid album. I just wish that he would have never put the uh, diss track on this album in the first place because you really have a solid track list with some really good features. It's like you you just wanted to highlight this diss song and it didn't go the right way. But anyways, I mean, even like the opener is a really good song. Pricey, Arlie Lennox's voice is so beautiful. Uh, I, dang, I didn't even realize Gucci Mane was on that song. Man, like I've listened to this album like 3 times today, and I just realized that Gucci Mane is on the first song. But then you get into a song like Crocodile Tears, just an amazing performance. Ready 24 featuring Cameron. I ain't gonna lie, I don't remember too much about this song. I know it's at least good because it's one of the likes. Hunting Wabbits. Like, my gripe with that song is just like, what? Why add that like weird part? It's just it makes the track seem so weird. It makes it like not want to go into my rotation, even though you put a really good rapping performance in. It's just you you get such weird like things. Like I still remember the video that it's like sampling from when it came out on the internet. I was like, is this really what the internet's coming to? And now we got fucking Hawk Tuah and other bullshit. Skibbity Toilet. Like, some of the things going around on the internet, it's brain rot. And that video isn't an exception. It's just, it's getting worse. But other than that, it's a really great rapping performance. Uh, sorry. I'm recording videos back to back, so should have gotten a bottle of water, but I'll be fine until the end of this video. HYB featuring Baz. Okay, I don't know if it's like Bass or Baz. I just say Baz. Featuring Baz and Central C. This is the only song that I don't have liked off of this album just because I don't like Central C. He's just honestly annoying and got famous off of a TikTok song. I mean, that's just calling it how it is. Fever, I don't. It didn't really stick out in like the rest of the track list, but it was a solid performance. Sticks and Stones, one of my favorites off of the track list, but I would say my favorite is definitely Pie, featuring Daylight and Absol. I love Absol. Honestly, his album that he did this year, Soul Burger, was a little bit of a letdown compared to some of his work from before, but still enjoyable in some ways. Uh, that Crazier track featuring Jid, banger. Stealth Mode featuring Baze. Dang, I said Boz earlier, now I'm saying Baze. I don't know. Whatever his name is. Uh, Another solid track. And then you get the last 2 tracks, which 3001, amazing, but even though my favorite is Pie off of the album, I think the actual best song off of the album is Trey the Truth and Ibiza. Honestly, I just really like Pie because I really like the Absol performance. But, like, best curated song definitely is Trey the Truth and Ibiza. And, yeah, that's the track list. I'm not gonna talk about 7 Minute Drill because it's not on the album. It was at one point, but it isn't anymore. Like I said, it's a solid album. Uh, I'd still put it as one of his weaker albums just because some of the nostalgia that I feel for a lot of those albums, and also some of the albums that I just listened to like this year are really good. I would say this honestly. I would say I like this better than the Sideline Story. I just feel like a lot of what was on the Sideline Story didn't age very well, and other than Lights Please, which was off of one of the um, mixtapes, and God, what is the name of it, dude? Like, Workout. Other than those two, there was nothing really that stood out from that album. So yeah, I would say this is better than that, but I would say this is worse than Born Sinner. I, I I know I've seen a lot of people saying that Born Sinner isn't a good album. The highs are just like some of the best in his career. So I'd still put it up there. But yeah, so let's just sit down and talk about J. Cole. I mean, what an amazing artist. Like going from the come up to now, My Delete Later, he has changed in so many ways. Like definitely has much better production. He started working on that himself. And also just like the fact that he can do multiple albums by himself without any features, and those being his best three albums. I mean, it's impressive, you know? It truly like shows why he is part of the big three. Now, I will say I think the big three is dead. I, after everything that happened in the beef, the big three is dead. And I've heard some people like trying to replace others into that big three. The big three has always been Kendrick, J. Cole, uh, and Drake. There's no replacing that, but after like everything that's happened this year, the big three is dead. Drake is falling apart. He's in shambles right now. J. Cole, he's like in that middle ground where honestly this year, if it wasn't for him getting those mixtapes onto streaming services, he could start like going into a more of an irrelevance. But he did put out those mixtapes, and he's doing the last Dreamville festival, and he's leading up to the fall off, which will probably be his retirement from music, which truly makes me sad. Like one of my favorite artists. I mean, just to think of like hip hop without J. Cole just feels so weird. I mean, I've been growing up listening to him. Like, I was in uh, intermediate school listening to him in my computer labs. Like, since then, I've been listening to J. Cole, and he's just really been one of the best rappers I've ever heard. So it's like, it's gonna suck to see him retire. But maybe even with the fall off, he'll still continue making music, or I don't know. It just sucks to think that he might retire next year. But he's been doing it since like 2008, 2009. I mean, that's close to 20 years of work that he's put in. And then that also like makes me think what's going to happen with Dreamville. Is he still going to be running Dreamville, or is he going to pass the leadership to someone else? It's like there's like a lot that could happen depending on if he retires or not. It like I said, I just hope he doesn't retire. It would just really suck, you know. Definitely one of my favorite artists, and actually listening to all of his albums and all of his projects, it truly shows why he's one of the best. But yeah, I mean, that that's his discography, you know. I I had a lot of fun making these videos, and I would say I personally like this format more than doing the discovering discography, because I get to put more information out and not just like, okay, you got this set time to talk about this album and then we got to get to the next. So it's not like a multiple hour video, you know? And also with something like a discovering discography, you have this set amount of time that you have to listen to all these albums, so you can record, get the video up, edit, like everything. And it's like, with this, it's just like I can break it up. Like, there's been times where I've had like albums like back to back of J. Cole, and then I do a new release that came out that week, or an older album. Like, okay, going from KOD, I went from KOD to Yes Lord, Y Lord, uh, then wait, no, I did For Your Eyes Only, Yes Lord, Y Lord, KOD, um, Missionary, Skeleton Key, the off season, and now I'm at my delete later. So it wasn't just you had to do like all of these in the set amount of time and get it all into one video, and you don't want it to go over an hour because that's just like too much content. So I I like doing like a personal video for each album where I can put more information in and truly break down the album. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Um, where do I go next? I don't know. I'll figure it out. Until next time, peace.